Nearly 200 years after his death, the remains of the Nyoongar warrior Yagan have been laid to rest in Perth. The ceremony brings to an end a long and arduous campaign to find Yagan's remains and bring them home from the UK. And a warning, the report contains images of an Aboriginal person who has died.
Hundreds of people braved the cold and wet conditions to honour the life of one of Western Australia's most prominent Indigenous figures.
It's been such a long time in the making to have one of our freedom fighters recognised and acknowledged in a ceremony that will heal.
Yagan has become a symbol of the struggles of Aboriginal people around the time of white settlement. A man revered by many people, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous, who paid the ultimate sacrifice.
A man who was trying to protect his people, his land, his language, his law, his culture.
Yagan was born in the Swan Valley, and it was here he was shot dead by a white settler in 1833. His head was preserved and sent to Britain as an artefact, but it would be another 150 years before his remains were brought home.
In 1997, following a lengthy campaign, Yagan's head was exhumed from a Liverpool grave and handed back to his people.
We've come here on a mission to be able to retrieve what rightfully belongs to the Nyoongar nation.
A group of prominent Nyoongar leaders travelled to the UK to reclaim his remains. And today, 13 years later, Yagan's head was reunited with his body in a memorial park which has been built in his honour in the Swan Valley.
I would hope from here on in that Yagan's place in our history is properly remembered and respected, and indeed that Aboriginal people and the whole community might take pride in what he stood for and his life.
The West Australian Government has committed to writing and recording an official version of the story of Yagan. Jane Norman, ABC News.